Can you tell us about There's Something Wrong with the Children and your character in the film?
Yes. So it's a horror movie, shocker. And it's about two couples, two married couples who are, longtime friends who go on this weekend kind of to the cabin. And myself and Carlos Santos, we're married and we have two kids and we bring the kids. And it's kind of about the kids go off in the woods, something happens, and then the children start being a little strange. There's something wrong with the children.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, I play Ellie, who is a wife and a mother. But what I love so much about her is that she's not your stereotypical, at least is how it's portrayed in film usually, mother and wife. She's kind of in a messy stage of her life and she's trying to figure some things out and she's very sloppy about it, which I love. And I just, the whole weekend for her is just kind of like, this is my time, this is for me, and the kids, someone else can take care of them and watch them and pay attention to them. But I'm here for my wine and for me time. And that was really fun to play.
Definitely. You've played so many powerful female characters throughout your career. Who were the women in your life who shaped the storyteller that you are today?
I mean, my mom, first of all, my mom is, to me, is so inspiring. I think she came from nothing and just really worked hard to build something for herself. And she really taught me kind of the power of dedicating yourself and committing yourself and showing up and being reliable and consistent. And that, she's a very structured person. So she just showed me that it was possible to dream big. And she saw that in me when I was younger. I was in dance and she's like, you love to perform. And she not in a stage mommy way. She made me wait to get an agent. She wanted to make sure that this was real. And so she just found me acting classes just to take recreationally to see, do you actually like this? And then over time, because I really did, then it was you can get an agent. But she really saw that in me and made sure I set me up so that I had the opportunity, and I wouldn't have my career if it weren't for my mom.
Great answer. There's such a fantastic chemistry that comes off the screen between the entire cast, but specifically those four friends. How were you all able to build that bond and chemistry that was needed?
So none of us, so I knew Zach Gilford, because I'd worked with him. And so I was really excited to work with him again. But Carlos Santos and Alisha Wainwright, I did not know personally, going into it. And we were just so, it's always a gamble going into these things, whether you're going to get along or not.
Yeah.
And we just got really lucky that this group is just an amazing, solid group. We're still in touch. We still get together, which I think is a testament to the kind of the friendship we built during that. But it just felt like a really kind of fun group. I felt very safe. It was just a really great group. We got lucky.
The two actors who play your children in the film are just getting started in their careers. Did you share any words of wisdom with them about navigating this industry?
Yeah, I think their parents are also really, really great parents who I had a lot of conversations with, and I think that they're navigating it in a really great way of, do this if you like this, but we're not going to force you to continue doing this. And I feel like that's what I said at the end, because they were so emotional at the end, because it was so fun and then it's over. And I felt that kind of devastation. And I think I've worked with a lot of kid actors, and the one thing that I'm always cautious of when I navigate it with them, because I know that I struggled. I wasn't a kid actor, but I started when I was late teens. And so much of my value and my self-worth got tied into my career. And this isn't a reliable career. I've had long stretches where I don't work, constant rejection. And so when your self-worth is tied into that, then all of a sudden you lose your sense of self when you're not working and you feel like you're, a shitty person or whatever. And so I'm always just cautious when I am working with kids, when I'm you want to encourage them and celebrate their performance and like what they're doing, like that's so amazing, but also making sure that you're celebrating other parts of them that have nothing
Yeah.
to do with this, because I think it's such a formative time that it's so easy for them to be like, people really like me when I'm doing this thing, and I don't get this attention when I'm doing other things. And then that can get really, cross wires later on. So that's just my thing that I'm always cautious of and mindful of, and navigating with kids.
That's a great piece of advice for anybody in their life. And you, you shot this film in New Orleans, which is often regarded as like one of the most haunted cities in the US. How helpful was that environment and ambience as you delved into this world?
I'm now just remembering what happened in my hotel room when I first got there. It's so funny because I was just talking to the last person of like, yeah, it was a weird hotel and like my lights came off, turned off or whatever. But I'm also remembering, like, I'm into like witchy stuff. Like I love tarot. And it was like the second or the third night that I got there, and I like put my deck of tarot, I was going to do like a spread, and I put it on
Hmm.
my bed, and I went to the bathroom, and when I came back, two cards were separated over that. I swear I took a photo of it because I was just like, what happened? And I won't share what the cards were because that's personal, but it was like a very clear message. And I don't know how that happened. And there was a lot of like weird stuff. I had really, really vivid
Yeah.
dreams while I was there. But it's such a magical place. It's really incredible, the culture there and the people there. The
Mhm.
crew was amazing, and I loved New Orleans. I think it's a great city.
You laughed about this earlier, but you're no stranger to horror. What is it about this particular genre that excites you as a creative and a storyteller?
I think I love like that there's not a lot of rules with it, and I think that they're not as like kind of beholden to kind of checking certain boxes with stuff. Like even with my character and Roxanne kind of fighting for, my her not to be kind of your stereotypical mom.
Yeah.
I feel like you're not afforded that luxury in other genres. But horror, it's like that you can really push the boundaries. And as an actor, that to me is so exciting because I do not like to be put into a box. So I think for me, it's like the most nuanced characters I've gotten to play have been in either like the horror or the psychological thriller genre. And that's what I'm usually attracted to, is like a character with depth.
Great answer. And perfect segue with this next question, but similar to you, Roxanne has had such a terrific track record with horror. What was it like getting to collaborate with her?
I was so excited to get to work with Roxanne. I have a few friends who've gotten to work with her who said nothing but amazing things. And it's unfortunately still rare to work with female directors.
Mhm.
And so I was really excited to work with her, and she did not disappoint. I mean, she's so she just came in with such a clear vision and knew what she wanted to do and was really good at communicating that. And so I felt as an actor, like I really understood what we were doing, whereas sometimes that's not so clear and it can kind of leave you feeling like, I think I'm doing the right thing. I'm not sure. What are we doing? And I never had that feeling on set of uncertainty. And so then you can really blossom in, thrive in your role because you're not like
Yeah.
doubting it over here. And she has such a love for this genre. And so it's so great to work with someone who loves, like, eats, breathes, sleeps this genre. And it's been so cool in all of these interviews, like everyone knows her and knows her work just because in this genre she's just like she's it.
Yeah.
And she did not disappoint.
I got one final question for you. You're such a dynamic storyteller. What's left on your bucket list and what's next for you?
um Gosh, I don't know what's next, and I kind of like that.
Mhm.
Even though there's the part of me that like wants to know. There's like a control freak in me, but there's also this like desire to not know, and I'm always like at war with the two, and it's always best when I don't know and I'm just surprised. And so I don't know what's next. I feel like so fortunate to have had a career where I've gotten to play so many different kinds of characters and so
Yeah.
many different genres, and I hope that I get to continue doing that. I feel like in a weird way, I'm I've been doing this almost 20 years, but I feel like in the past 4 years personally, I've evolved and changed so much. And so I'm really excited. It feels like it's like I've just begun, because
Mhm.
there's this whole other part of me that's like starting to come out. And so I'm really excited to explore what acting feels like from this place.